And welcome back, everyone. Thanks for checking out my channel. Today I'm going to try to make some usable wood out of this pallet. Now this one is really beat up. A lot of this I can't use, like there's just massive splits going through it. Obviously that's no good. But this piece on the end I think I can clean up enough to use. So I'm just going to go through the process, show you how to make some usable wood out of pallets. So first thing we got to do is break this thing down. There's obviously 3 nails in each stringer on this and some random nails sticking out here, which I should be able to pull. There we go. And just slowly work your way across, because if you go too hard, it will just split this thing right in half. Alright, well, that one came completely out instead of taking the nail off, so that one's actually going to be easy. And we're off. You don't actually have to pound them all the way out like that. You just flip it over and pull them after, as long as you get the heads up. All right, so we've got our board laid out. All of our nails are pounded up, as you can see. So just kind of go around with your pry bar here and pop them out. Don't really worry about anything on this part. This is pretty easy. They're also loose now, it doesn't really matter. Make sure you throw these away. If you're like me at all, I park 2 motorcycles in here, so I really don't like nails being left around. Don't know if you guys can see this, but there is one more piece of metal right here. It's actually a staple. So I'm gonna try to yank that out too, because you don't want metal running through your planer. Come on, get under there. There we go. Just a flathead screwdriver underneath it to raise it up a little. Got it. All right. So I've got no metal left on this side of it, but we've got to check over here too. Actually, this one looks pretty good. There is a big split on the end, but I'm actually going to cut that off after we plane it anyways. So, time to get the planer set up. All right, it's time to plane this thing. Sorry if I'm yelling, I did put earplugs in for this. This planer's really loud. That said, I don't recommend this planer. Save a little longer and get a better one. But we're gonna go ahead and run it through, see what we can do. All right, so I definitely need some new blades on this. I'm not sure if you guys can pick that up because my lighting's terrible in here, but there is a distinct line here where one of the blades has a chip in it, right there. But other than that, it came out pretty good. This piece looks like it's a piece of oak, I would guess, probably red. Not the highest quality board, but Also, another reason I don't recommend this planer is there's only 2 support posts on it, or adjustment posts, so it always snipes at the beginning and the end. I usually just end up putting end pieces on a few inches longer, but I figured since I was going to cut these off anyways, it wouldn't really matter. All right, so just to show you, none of the edges on this are really straight. See how that gap gets huge in the middle there? So I'm going to run it through the table saw on both sides. The first time I'm going to use the level to get a good straight edge on this side. Then when I flip it over, the fence will be the straight reference on the other one. So I'll set this up about where I want it and kind of just go from there. I was hoping I would have at least one straight edge on this, but this one's just as bad, if not worse. So I just put a little double-sided tape on a few sections of this, just to keep that board in place a little better as I run it through. So I'll get that set up and then we are ready to go. So this should just shave about 1/8 of an inch off, hopefully. All right, so now we've got one really good edge on that. So I can run it through the other way and get a perfect board. So let's reset the fence. I actually use the push stick for this one because it's a little smaller. When I use the level, I don't really worry about it that much, but when I don't, I like to have something. Alright, so we've got 2 clean edges on it. Now all we need to do is trim the ends on the miter saw and we'll have some usable wood. And see how we have a nice flat fit against that back wall? That's where we want it. Now we're just going to trim these little nail holes off here and then we should have some usable wood. There's nothing you could really do about the nail holes in the middle. You could put some filler on them if you wanted, but you could just leave them for character as well. That off there. And we're going to flip it to this side and do the same thing. Alright, so I have not sanded this or anything. It's literally just planed and squared off. Little tear out there. My miter saw does that. I could probably put a new blade or use a backer board on it. But from a piece of pallet wood to a usable piece of red oak. And it's really not that bad. You'd probably have to use some wood filler on the nail holes. But overall, not a bad piece of wood. Pallet wood is all 2nd and 3rd grade wood. It is not designed to be really used for anything. It's rejects. But we got clean edges on this one. Could probably use one side of it quite well. So yeah, not a bad piece. This is clearly a piece of red oak, but nice grain to it. After some good sanding, it would clean up. I may trim this off. That's pretty nasty. I don't know if there's anything I could really do about that. That knot there just is kind of killing it. But overall, I've got a decent piece of usable wood out of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see more videos like this, just hit that like and subscribe button. It would really help me out. I've been trying to get this channel going and it is not really working. So I appreciate you following along. Thank you.